Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to carry on with the loadout guide, and today we're going to be looking at the ground assault and jump assault classes. So let's jump in, pun intended, and let's get started. When it comes to actually playing the assault class, you have two options. You have a ground assault, and if we go down here, you have a jump assault. So with the jump assault, you basically, at a jump assault, you use your jump pack to jump up to certain places where you can't normally get by foot, and jump on and strike down on the enemy and stun them and then hit them and stuff like that. And the ground assault is basically what it says on the tin. It's you're assaulting on the ground. You have a melee focused character via ground. But the good thing about the ground assault, and this is why I normally prefer taking over the jump assault, is that you have a shield. Now this glorious shield, if used correctly, can be vital for your team, and I'm going to go into that a bit more. I'm going to go into that in more detail later in the video, but using a shield for the ground assault, I would recommend it. But let's first jump in and let's look at the jump assault again, pun intended. So with the jump assault, now as I said before just a second ago, I normally don't play with the jump assault. There's only certain maps I play with the jump, or actually have the jump assault class attached to my loadout, and that is siege maps when I'm actually attacking a siege map, because I think that the jump assault can be used there as the most important actually class in that game, because you get certain situations where on the siege maps is when you take the A point. The A point is normally the most easiest point to take in any siege map, and then they fall back to the secondary point, which is the B point, and 9 times out of 10 the B point is the most hardest point to take. There's only a couple of ways in, and the enemy lock down those points with everything they have. So it's vital, it's absolutely vital for you and you as a team to break that and get in, so the rest of your team can flood in. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is with jump assaults. Now I've done this with my clan before, is when we do mass jump assaults, and all you need to do, you break through the lines and you basically get into the baggage train of the enemy. You get right to the back of the room and start causing havoc. What normally happens, the enemy panic and they don't focus on the doors or anything like that. They start turning the guns on you, which is good. You want to take the bulk of the fire in the game so the rest of your team can push up. For me right now, this is the main tactic in breaking an enemy siege. I would love to hear some feedback if anyone else has got any ideas on the best way to break sieges, but I find that a coordinated jump assault team can cause absolute havoc. I've witnessed it. There's footage on my channel when I do the streams and stuff, and we all go jump assault and we all smash things apart. It is absolutely brutal method of taking things apart. And one of the sad things is that I don't really see it in a lot of games where it's not when I'm not grouping up with clans. You know, I'm trying to advise people, hey, come on guys, let's all go jump assault, all meet at this rally point, and then we'll all go in together. And a lot of people don't do that. They just want to sit on like the stairs and shoot in and stuff on siege maps, and that's not the best way to do it. You know, you need to go in, you need to take the enemy, you need to take the fight towards the enemy and make them pay with their lives. You know, not make you pay with your lives. It's them that's their lives are at stake, not yours. You can die as many times as you want attacking. You know, it's every life of theirs counts at the end of the day, and yours costs nothing. So make sure if you are going on a siege map, please try and just equip a jump assault loadout, just in case you may need to do this jump assault siege on a target. Right, so let's get back to the actual loadout guide itself. If you can see, I only really have 2 loadouts for the assault class. Like I said, I had the ground assault and I have a jump assault. This down here was going to be, well, it is going to be my PvE guy, so just ignore that for now. But as you can see, I have 2 veterans as well. Now, I don't normally play the veterans in any games. I normally play with my tactical, because I am more or less a tactical player. So the tactical does take preference over these chaps, but I will go into the loadouts of them in a second. But let's start with the loadout for the actual ground assault itself. Now, Here we have the ground assault. As you can see, it's probably a bit bare for some people, but the way I use my ground assault is going to be a lot different than some people may use their ground assault. I actually use my ground assault as a support class. As you've probably watched my other videos, I see the tactical as the main class in Eternal Crusade, and everyone in my opinion is there to support the tactical, including the ground assault. So that's why I'm taking the best shield in game at the moment. Now I know this doesn't have a lot of stats on it at the moment, but I have been informed of the developers it does have better stats than the normal ground assault shield. As you can see here, it's not just the 25 extra durability and stuff like that. It does have better stats of taking a lot of fire onto it. Now some people wonder why I want to take a shield. I'll explain why. The main reason why is that if a tactical is taking a point, we basically make a shield wall around that tactical, so no one can shoot into him or hurt him and stuff like that. Of course you have the AoE grenades and stuff, but it's really best if you can actually form these shield walls in game and help protect people who are actually taking points, or basically sometimes you come into situations where an actual enemy is on one side of the bridge and you're on one side of the bridge, and you need to push forward and you can't push forward because there's so much fire on you. 3 or 4 ground assaults with their shields all linked together going across that bridge can cause so much chaos and panic to the enemy team, because they start focusing on them and then the team behind you then start pushing up. I know a lot of people don't see this, but in team play kind of games like with clans and stuff, this is, well, personally for us guys in VM, the shield guy is very vital push onto points. We always push a shield guy into a room actually before any other unit, because they can take the brunt of the fire with a shield. It's basically logic. So if you are using a shield, please, I would suggest make sure you use it properly. You're there to defend your team with that shield, not just yourself so you can get kills. So please try and use it in a teamwork kind of way and push forward and purge the enemy brothers. Right, let's take a look at all the weapons, because we have a ton of weapons on the assault classes. So you have the basic chainswords, which are pretty nice down here. I don't really use the chainswords. The actual power swords is where I actually more or less use for all my ground assault classes. As you can see down here, there's this nice expensive one down here, but again, I don't think it's really worth taking it for the actual price cost. 400 to the 300. As you can see, it's the stats don't really change that much. It's got 25 durability, just a bit more. I don't really see that's worth an extra 100 points in my opinion. So I take the power sword. As you know, this is a awesome looking weapon. It costs a hell of a lot of requisition. I think it's like 500,000 requisition, but for me the point cost, it is not worth it at all. It's worth it for the rule of cool. If anyone wants to do the rule of cool, then it's definitely worth it, but for me, not so much worth it. Maces, power mauls. I use one of these on my veterans, the power maul, because as a veteran I can take a bit more of a beating. So I like to take a power maul because they can do a bit more damage. This is the actual one I take, the Mace of Punishment on my chap. You can see like the strong damage impact, 236 to let's see, we'll look like 183 down here, 183. So it is. I think this is definitely worth taking, especially if you've got a veteran. It is worth the extra points to actually take it on a veteran. Power axes, I've never really took the power axe at all. The Fenris pattern Power Axe Mark 1. Again, gorgeous looking model. I think it's a very nice looking model, but again, I've never really used the Power Axe at all. They're a bit too slow for me. Well, I say they're a bit too slow. The Power Mace is probably the same speed as the axe, but I just prefer taking this. As you can see down here, look, if you go the stats and stuff, the actual Mace of Punishment is a lot more stats wise worth taking than the actual power axe itself. Now there's one thing I have used in the past, and I don't really use it anymore because we actually have people assigned on our team to use it, but if there wasn't, I would actually take this, the Power Fist. The Power Fist can be absolutely deadly if used right. Now a lot of people don't really use the Power Fist right, but the main reason to use the Power Fist I see is to use it against vehicles, because it can be devastating against vehicles. Because when you hit a vehicle with a Power Fist, it puts like an actual mini stun on the vehicle itself, so that if you've got someone like in a Rhino who's trying to move to a point and you hit it with a Power Fist, it stuns it. That gives other people time in your squad to put cracks on it, melter bombs, hit it with a melter gun and stuff like that, and you can do a lot of damage as well with the actual hit of your Power Fist. And the way the physics are in the game at the moment, sometimes you can hit this, you can actually hit a vehicle and it sends the tank flying like upside down and stuff like that. It's absolutely mad sometimes. As you can see here, there's different prices of the Power Fist. If you are going to take one, where is it? Again, they all do the same kind of damage and stuff and all that kind of. You can actually see, look, the actual damage compared to the Power Maul. Look, it's ridiculous, the Power Fist. I would basically take the bog standard version. I know it doesn't really look cool, but for the points wise value, I would definitely just go with the normal actual Power Fist itself. The golden one down here, Imperial Justice, looks very, very nice. I love the what is it? I love the look of this one, the Mastercrafted one with the black fingers. I think that really suits the Imperial Fist, especially my fifth company trim. But points wise, of course, since we're trying to be best points for value, I would definitely just take the normal, just Power Fist there. Okay, let's move on to the actual mods. On this one, I'm using Lifesteal. Just for the fact that, you know, if I'm in a room with tons of enemies and I'm actually hitting them, I get a little bit of life off each one I hit. So, you know, it's just one of them things. As someone who's taken a lot of shots, who people are going to be focused, a lot of the actual enemy itself focus is a lot on you, so you actually do need even an apothecary following you around, you know, giving you some heals and stuff like that. Or of course, if you have lifesteal, you know, you do have a bit more survivability when it comes to actually hitting enemies itself. Repair generator, this is kind of okay, but and clashing generator, I think the way the game is at the moment, it's a bit broken with melee, with the clashing and stuff like that, and I don't really think it's worth taking these, because melee doesn't really last too long. I find that in melee, you either win the duel, or a friend comes and shoots the guy you're dueling with, or you get shot in the back of his friend. That's more or less how it goes in melee, which I've found at the moment. So I tend to try and go with lifesteal so I can last as long as I can actually in a duel. If we go down on this one, these are the ones for increasing penetration for power swords and increase the damage for power swords. Again, I don't really take them. I would like to take them, but for the points stuff I've got at the moment, it's not, you know, I would have to drop a fair few of these down. Well, I think I'd have to drop the Artificer armor, which I don't really want to do, because again, it does give me 20 plus armor, plus toughness, and you know, again, it's all about survivability in this character. It's not about the output of the damage. I find it's about surviving as long so you can help your team push forward as a whole. I don't have any consumables or grenades. I've just got the +4 health, and I've got the armor trinkets as well. So that is, I should probably take the melee banner on that if I'm squad leading on that one, because sometimes I tend to do like melee orientated squads and stuff, so it's always good to have like a melee banner maybe if you're leading a melee squad. But again, that's entirely up to you. I should save that. Okay, let's push on and let's look at the Jump Assault class. Okay, as I said before, the Jump Assault is different to the Ground Assault. As a Jump Assault, you use your jump pack to assault, and on the ground you use your feet to assault. So let's jump in and let's take, like he's using that pun, let's jump in. Let's take a look at this thing. Right, we've already gone through all the weapons. All the weapons you can get on the Ground Assault, you can basically get on the Jump Assault. So we've already covered that subject. Again, with the armor, I'm always going to go with Artificer armor. And I think every one of my classes has Artificer armor. With the War Gear 1, On this one, since it's not a veteran, I've only gone with fuel +1, because if I go with fuel +2, it's 400, and I think that's far too much on a normal bog standard character. So I've gone with just plus fuel 1. Fuel is very, very vital playing a jump assault, because your main advantage is your jump. It's being in the air, it's crashing down and hitting people, which I'll show off later in the video and stuff, and at the end of the video when I show the classes off. So it's very, very vital that you have the utmost air superiority to your character at all times. So I would always recommend taking a fuel +1 on the jump assault loadout. For War Gear 2, I've got the fuel regen 15% faster. If we go and look at the other ones, we've got armor regen, which again I don't really want. We've got the fuel regen 25% faster, but again it's 200. I don't really want to waste 200 points on something that's got to give me just an extra 10%. It's just, I just don't think it's worth it. And then we have the 400, which is 50% faster. I would love to take this, but it's just too much points for a bog standard marine, in my opinion. If we come down here, I've just got health. One of the things that's happened to the jump assault is that they've made them a lot more. Well, let's say they've nerfed them a bit, so they can't really take a beating like they did before. So I always try and increase that by obviously improving my health as much as I can. Consumables, I've got no consumables in this guy, but I have got a frag grenade. Now I've got a frag grenade for the simple reason is that this character is basically a shock and awe character for me. I want to jump in, cause as much damage as possible, and then get the hell out of there. And the way to do this is that I jump onto a target, I throw a grenade, because normally, like I said before at the start of the video, I normally use this during sieges. And what you normally find in sieges is that you have like 4 or 5 guys all on one balcony, or braced with heavy bolters or plasma cannons or whatever bloody weapon they have. So I just jump up there, throw a grenade, it kills about 2 or 3 of them, and then I just go in my sword and slashing, and then, you know, it's the max amount of damage I can cause in the least amount of time. And I find that having a frag grenade is the best way to accomplish that. But yeah, that is basically the jump assault for me. It's, you know, it's a shock and awe kind of guy. Nothing too special on him at all. What I am going to do though, I'm just going to quickly jump back and I'm going to show you the actual veteran loadouts for my chap. So let's jump in and let's see them. And here we have my veteran loadout. So I've got the jump assault here, and I've got the ground assault down here. Let's just start with the actual jump assault itself. Let's go and edit that. So as you can see, I've got the power sword, and I've got the life steal, just the power sword I had on my normal class. Artificer armor. I've got the heavy jump pack, which I had on my normal guy as well, but instead of the other War Gear slot I had, I've got War Gear 2, which is the fuel regen delay, so I get 25% faster fuel with this on. I've got the health bundle packed together, the major and minor on this guy. As I was saying before, it's all about having the best health, I find, playing these classes. I managed to sneak on another regen fuel, so 3% faster, so I've got a nice little bonus with that. Nearly 30%, not quite at 30%, but nearly there. No consumables, just a standard frag grenade like we went through before. It's always good to have a grenade to throw in before you go in to soften some targets up. Normal sidearm, and the nice cool standard of prominence, which is the founder standard. This standard can be problematic sometimes, especially if you're ranged, because it's that big, it blocks your shots. So I wouldn't really recommend it on range. I've actually started to take it off my range classes now, because it's more of a hindrance than it is the rule of cool. So let's push on and let's look at the ground assault, brothers. And this is the ground assault character. As you can see here, what we spoke about before, I've got the Mace of Punishment on this guy. The thing with the Mace of Punishment, it comes with no weapon mod at all, so you can't really put anything on there. I've got the Artificer armor. Actually, if you look at here, I'm actually underpointed. I might actually work around and look at this a bit more, but at the moment it's been working kind of good. So in War Gear 1, I've got a plus 16 health. In War Gear 2, I've got the armor regen for 15% faster. Of course, you're going to be getting shot at a lot with this guy, so it's always good to have some kind of armor regen ability on there, so you get your armor back and stuff for your shield. I've got the health trinkets, and I've got the armor trinkets down here. Consumables, I've got the first aid kit, just because, like I said before, I'm there to take the brunt of the fire. So if I can give myself some first aid and get back out there and take a little bit more beating, then so be it. Took a frag grenade on this chap as well. If we move over to the shield, it's just the mastercrafted Imperial Fist shield, and I've got the repair generator on it, so it increases the durability of the actual storm shield itself, and just a bog standard on this chap. But all in all, that is the veterans. They're actually kind of similar to my other classes I have, but you know, just a bit more pumped out and a bit more stuff on them to give them a bit more survivability, let's say. Anyway, let's go into the garrison now, and I will show off some of the abilities with the jump assault, and show off some of the abilities with the ground assault for people who have never played the class or are very unfamiliar with the class. So let's jump in and let's do it. Okay, so here we have the glorious jump assault class. So, as you can see here, I've got my backpack on and stuff like that. I'm just going to try to explain some of the basics of the class. Some of you probably already know this and you're just going to ignore this bit of the video. But hey, for the people who are new, who don't know how to play this, this is for you chaps. So, as a jump assault, I basically have the ability to strike from the sky. So, if I'm moving down, if I press my space button, as I'm going to do now, I can basically launch myself into the air. Just like that. Now, as you've seen then, as I was coming down, there was a red marker on the ground pointing to where I could land. So if I do the space button and then while I'm in the air, press the right mouse button, it does like a charge from the sky. So if you can place that like actually on an enemy, it will stun the enemy and also put some damage on him as well. So you can go in there, you can actually do some damage before you actually strike your sword down. So let's try and test this right now. So I'm going to press the spacebar, and there is the stun. That's basically the jump assault class. Of course, you've got your fast attack, you've got your heavy attack and stuff like that. Of course, my grenade, like I said before, always throw your grenade in. It's always very good to soften the target up. Now, this is something that I don't think a lot of people know this, but you can actually hold on to the environment as a jump assault. Now, as I said, a lot of people don't know this, but what you do, say for example this is a big long wall here and you want to hang off it. If you jump and then hold down your shift button near the wall, you can grab onto it and then leap off from that wall. Right, I'm going to try this. This may work out wrong, but let me try it. Let me try and get up there and do this. There we go. I'm up on the wall. I'm hanging on it now, and all I have to do, you get a set brief period of time how long you can hang on for, but you guys get the idea. You can go on there, wait for a couple of seconds, and leap back off it and land on someone again. So it's quite a really good thing if you're like scaling an actual fortress. You can hang on, get some fuel back for a couple of seconds, then leap back up there and scale it some more. So it is a really nice little feature when you do that with the jump assault. Okay, let's move on and let me show you the ground assault class, brothers. And here we have the glorious ground assault, my favorite of the assault classes. Now, basically, the ground assault is what it says. You're assaulting on the ground. There's really not a lot of fancy stuff to do with this. You have a shield and you have a melee weapon, but you're there to protect your friends. You're there to protect your team members, and to do this you have a shield. Now of course you can take a plasma pistol and stuff like that, but I always recommend please take a shield, because that's what the class is there for. So to bring the shield up, all you have to do is press your left mouse button, and there you go, you have the shield up, and that gives you an extra wall of armor. Now as you can see here, nice shield up, and you can take a nice brunt of the attack. So do you know what? Do you know what's a really good idea? If you're moving with a team, it's always good maybe if you crouch and move like that, because then your guy just has a little bit more room just to shoot over your head, to put more shots onto a target. I always like to do this push down corridors and stuff sometimes with my friends. If we get some nice little shield wall going, you can see how effective it can be. You know, if you have like 3 people like this in front and a lot of range, maybe a plasma cannon in the back with mortar mode on, firing over you, it's got to be kind of devastating. So we have the fast attack. As you can see here, this power maul is a bit slow. It's not as fast as the power sword, as you can probably tell by the way I'm swinging my fast attacks. And the fast attack is there as well. But again, because I'm using this mace, which is very hard hitting, they have slowed it down for balance reasons. But all in all, that is the ground assault class for you chaps. Yeah, let's push back to the menu and we can finish off the video. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something. I hope I've inspired you to hopefully play ground assault or jump assault. If anyone's got any feedback at all, please, I would love it in the comments. If you've got any tips to maybe add to this video, or your experiences with the ground assault, maybe you've got some nice little tricks you want to share which maybe I've missed or I just don't even simply don't know about, please share them away, because like I always say in all these Loadout videos, we're all here to help each other to better ourselves as a Space Marine faction. Okay chaps, that is me done. Thank you for watching once again, and I shall see you all soon, and I think the next Loadout video shall be the Apothecary, so watch out for that, and thank you. See you now and have a great week. Bye bye.